in the current world, and many people will look at world economic forms, you own nothing and you'll be happy. And the more I look at it now as a father right now, and the money is going out, it's a lot faster, right? And if you look at a lot of YouTube channels and how do you save money, obviously you're not to get on big debts or ongoing expenditures. But the moment you start a family and everything like that, it comes naturally that you want to build your nest, or she wants to build a nest. And whether you have a house, whether upgrade a house or a car as well, and you upgrade the car. We live in a society where if you drive or you walk down the street, most people have some form of debt level, whether it's a home loan, whether it's credit card, whether it's car loan, whether it's personal loan. It is normalized in today's world to get into debt. I've always been growing up not to get into debt and try to minimize and try to save. I'm at the age of 35, being a father, right? And then I said to myself, there is so much going on and we don't look at carefully. When you're young and you fall in love and you're married to the person, you have two tribes coming together. And whether you have family or parent support to buy your first house or upgrade a lifestyle or whatever, essentially what I'm looking now, right, is the fact that if you borrow $600,000, right, no matter how you pay this mortgage principal and interest, right, if you borrowed 600,000 and the only way to pay it off, this is how you think, right? In a year, right, if you can pay $30,000 principal, now that is not viable for most people when I speak like this, right? $30,000 principal, in 10 years time, you will pay it off your mortgage, $300,000. Disregard what's the interest rate is going to be. And the interest rate will fluctuate. Now, obviously, what you spent on a mortgage, right, it can be the same, which means you need around $60,000 to pay off the bank every year. All right, husband and wife will work their ass off just to pay it off. But now I'm looking at the upgrading part, and they want to keep upgrading, and you can't pay it off. I don't see any good outcome, and we're going to be slaving our time to try to pay it off or try to ease it down or try to work around. One thing that I do know is the fact that if it's 10 years you pay it off $300,000, right, which means it's around, let's just say average is around $60,000 or $70,000 a year just to pay off interest and principal, just around $30,000. It is not easy. I'm letting you guys know. In today's world, it's not easy just for $600,000. So, ex-partner is showing me a house, $750,000, and she wants to do a collateral mortgage. And I'm just there, I'm like, do you have any idea that we cannot pay off that house? Even though, let's just say, it's a $500,000 mortgage. We're 35. We are not going to work that much longer years, to be honest with you guys. But, yeah, that's what I look at the whole thing. And everyone say, oh, you got to invest X, Y, and Z. You got to have a lot of income, right? Income streams in today's world. And that is something that everyone should be focusing and looking on. Now we've got this AI revolution, X, Y, and Z. So that being said, it is very important to know where you are, because once you start a family, it becomes a problematic, because you fall in love, you have the child, and once you have the child, there is a catch. It's depending on your family circle who is willing to give in to look after your child or your grandkid. And for my example, my mother doesn't want to look after my child, all right? So I'm fortunate enough to have my ex's partner's family is willing to look after my child, pick up and drop off, or I do the same, right? And when I think about the whole thing, that is something that most of us never think about when you get married or you have kids. Your career has been changed to fit into your child's life. The child's life and your working life as well. Your life is like, it is gone to the stage where your life has gone to work and raise a child. Unfortunately, with the cost of living and the inflation, it doesn't favor towards family values, unfortunately. Or the government should have a form of way to have some easing tax on marriage or those who have kids, because less and less people are having kids nowadays. So it is very difficult to know where is this heading to, because we're going to live in a poverty, homeless generation, because if you can't pay off the house, essentially what you have left is your super, and you're going to use your super to get into the house. And God knows what's the property price in 20 or 30 years as I'm speaking right now. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? And that is, that is something that I've learned in form of crypto, is the fact that housing prices fluctuate. And there's a certain price tag it fluctuate where the banks is going to start knocking your door and saying, hey, your property has devalued to this X amount. We need you to fork up or pay more or X, Y, and Z, right? If you don't do that, then we take the house away from you. In stocks and crypto, it doesn't work that way. You just wait until if it dips, one day that price tag will go up again to a certain price tag, all right? So that being said, it is very difficult for housing because you have the interest rate, you got the world influence as well globally, and not only just that, but you also have your work placement, where right now we're in an AI revolution. The amount of stuff that I get to see around China, it's very scary, right? And how many of our jobs is going to be replaced, and who's going to be having employment, and you're going to be out of work because the machine or AI has replaced you. These are the sort of stuff that I've always wanted to ingrate heavily on my ex-partner. Even till now, she still wanted to upgrade her house. And I just looked at her, I'm like, nothing is safe anymore. And I know what my mindset back in the days, because I grew up in Australia, moral ethics, and as well with, fair and unfairness. And it becomes a problematic when you look at the whole thing. The lifestyle and everything costs a lot costly. Obviously, there's videos how to save money, bring home pack meals. But I started to say to myself, why I've gone into a larger appetite for out of the no reason. We are not in the winter season. It's not like I'm doing a heavy laboring job. I don't know why I've gone to a heavy, eater. So, but that being said, the whole thing, it is very difficult to know what is going on. Maybe my body changed, maybe because I just got into the gym. I don't know. Burning the fuel. If I go to the gym and I eat a big meal, I understand that. But it's just in general, just wanting to eat a lot. But what if I do intermittent fasting, whatever? And I start to, there's a lot of things that goes on in your life. And that's why I said in today's world, it is very difficult to see the outcome of the whole thing. And when you have like that, it becomes a notion where is very, very anti-family or anti-saving era because of the inflation and the cost of living. This is the part where it struck many people's mind, because many people will say, look, I only think about today, I don't think about, and only just tomorrow, but I can't think any future ahead. We've seen houses has been gone up and up and up. I'm from Sydney. I've seen houses has gone from like 3-4 million, 5 million. I don't know how the hell they can afford that stuff. But that being said, it is very difficult. The new government that is going to be elected, no matter which side, I think May or further this year, that they have to claim that in 2 years they will ban foreign buyers. So in that 4 years, are we going to have a pause or stalling moment? So these are the stuff that's been bothering my mind for the last 3-4 weeks, and couldn't find an idea and find a way to make this video But it's just that knowledge, and because we men, we think logically, we don't think emotionally or FOMO. And what I've learned in the crypto, I was scared, right? And didn't hold on. And that is something for the housing in today's world doesn't work that way. Because a certain percentage is going to go down, and it's not going to be like pleasant the way how it is. That being said, it is what it is. That's the video that's been on my mind for the last 3-4 weeks. And even though me and my ex-partner, we're trying, I won't say we're trying, she wanted me to come back. And these are the questions that is on top of my mind. I don't know where to think, because it is very difficult to see the whole thing. Maybe because it's my environment where I grew up. I've seen too much, and the mentors that guide me through to be that. It's just there's too much to go through that I cannot cover in this video, or else nobody's going to watch, or myself I'm not going to watch this over 30 minutes or 40 minutes. And to break it down in different perspectives, different lenses and different areas, and everyone has their own different problems. And my problem is that, why am I not saving? That is the biggest problem right now. So that's the video.